Well guys, I'm not sure where I left you off in the last video, what I would call the big diesel build, because my little one is the 10 horse. Anywho, I've made a significant amount of progress, even though it doesn't really look like much. The rear end is mounted in the tractor. I still have to pull it out and change this whole center section. I'm not using this one, and I still have to make all the linkages for the 2-speed and the differential lock and all that. But I have hydraulic lines now plumbed. That one is there in case I wanted to add a spool valve like underneath here, so I could have the option to have a hydraulic 3-point hitch using the subframe from an electric one if I can make it work. If I can find a junker electric 3-point local to me. But on the other hand, the motor mounts are done, at least as far as I can get for right now. I may have to cut them off and lower them down so I can drop the engine a little bit. I'm waiting to get some measurements from Hugh for the radiator that he used in his golf cart, because I think that radiator is going to be the right one that will work with this tractor. It'll be narrow enough that it'll fit in between the bottom of the dashboard. But the steering column is mounted, other than the dash being loose and the steering wheel being loose, the mount is welded to the frame. Hard to see in there, but I also got some of the lines run. Now, found my missing line. Go figure. I was looking for that yesterday. I have a 90-degree fitting on the left side, and I trimmed, let's see if I can get my finger up in here. I trimmed this weldment bracket for the hydro linkage. It was a right angle bracket, and I cut the back side of the right angle off and shortened it up so I had enough room for that 90-degree to fit. And then a 45 that comes down, kind of loops underneath and then comes up to the steering box, just so it keeps it away, everything away from the drive shaft. And that it comes up to here, and then this is the one of the steering lines. I need another line just like this one, but now that I found this guy, I should be able to make this guy go from this side down to the front of the ram, hopefully. So I'll have to play around with that, and then I'll just have to get one more line made, most likely, unless I can find one from work that will do the job. But the lines are in there, and as of right now, if I slide the drive shaft on and hold it about 1.5 inches below the bottom of the threaded ports, so right about there, the drive shaft clears everything right now. So as long as I've got the 45s in there, that should do the trick. And then before you know it, I'll be able to get this in there, hopefully for good, after I do a little bit more trimming, because I have to cut just a little bit more off the front just to have more than a literal hair worth of clearance between the flywheel and the frame. I don't want any graining or scraping noise. But yeah, it's making progress. It's a little slow, but hey, it's going. I've been messing around with this 318, and I know it looks like a workbench again, but picked up a 4-way blade for it. I'll admit, it was probably the best choice for this big snow that we just got. It was like 7 inches of heavy wet snow, and 3 guys I know have had problems with their snow blowers, and this thing did great. Now, ultimately, it needs more weight than just one wheel weight on each rear wheel. It needs to have like a weight box in the back, so I might have to get some steel and make one. But my bigger problem is, if you're noticing, there's like a oil residue on the fender pan there, and that is because the steering wheel is wet and column is wet. What happened is one of the seals let loose in the steering column because the tractor sat so long, and it sent pressure fluid all the way up the column, and it was spraying out in my face and running down the column. And so I have sawdust underneath the tractor. I mean, it is just... By the time I noticed it and got it back in the garage, it pretty much did not even want to back up anymore. It lost that much fluid. So yeah, I have ordered a gasket kit for the column, as well as a new ignition switch. And I will be focusing on this thing once those parts come in more than this, because I need to have some sort of winter tractor ready. And the 10-horse diesel SS12, well, ag tires suck in the snow, especially on this driveway. They probably work fine if you have weight and you're on a flat driveway, but when you're dealing with an incline, it doesn't look like much of an incline, but pretty much from the road all the way up until about this line, it's all uphill until about here, between that parting line and this parting line and the concrete slab. And as you can tell, I mean, there's scratch marks everywhere in this driveway from the 318, so I need more weight. And these rear tires are supposedly loaded. They weigh a crap ton, but I just got no traction with it with that big, huge, heavy snow blower. So basically, yesterday I got this thing stuck trying to get it up the driveway, and the only thing that would pull it up the driveway was the truck. And also underneath a snowbank, for those that are really good at identifying things, you'll notice that it's a 318 frame. It has all the hydraulic stuff still on it, so this is where I'm getting some hydraulic parts, but now it's just become winter weight for right now. So anyway, enough rambling on, and I'm gonna go back in the house. I'm cold, so I'll talk to y'all later.